calling for individuals to specifically set time aside for rest. But this is not the object of this article. The article was about Sunday blue laws. This was another public suggestion in the only nationwide newspaper in the United States for more Sunday blue laws designed to force people to rest from their labors. Then on September 11, 2006, exactly 5 years from the terrorist attacks on New York and Washington, D.C., the Christian Science Monitor published an article that agitated the issue again. Under the title, "Maybe Blue Laws Weren't So Bad," David R. Francis asked what the consequences have been after the Sunday blue laws have largely been repealed or weakened. "It may be no surprise," wrote Mr. Francis, "that families took advantage of the changes in the blue laws to scoot to the mall on Sundays. Faced with such secular competition, attendance and donations at church have fallen." He cited a recent study done by Daniel Hungerman, an economist at Catholic Notre Dame University, and John Gruber, an economist at Massachusetts Institute of Technology. In this study, Gruber and Hungerman find that after blue laws are repealed by a state, religious attendance drops about 5% on average. About 15% of those who had been attending religious services weekly no longer attend so regularly. Religious contributions declined 13%, or about $109 per person per year. Spending by religious institutions falls by about 6.3%. Drinking rates by youths go up. Marijuana use goes up. Similarly, the gap between the non-religious and the religious taking cocaine, 3% versus 1.5%, closed entirely. "The study," said Mr. Francis, "raises an old issue. To what extent should government interfere in activities of its citizens, even when that interference may be helpful? Armed with new studies like this, religious leaders will eventually press for a resurrection of Sunday blue laws and even worship laws once Americans are faced with a huge crisis that they think will only be solved by getting America back to God." The debate over Sunday observance is not confined to the United States. Incidentally, if any of our listeners come across articles concerning the issue of Sunday laws in any country, please send them to us or email them. On June 25, 2006, the Associated Press reported that in France, Sunday laws have become a point of debate. Most places in France you can't shop on Sunday. The Champs-Élysées is an exception, sort of. You can buy T-shirts at the Quicksilver on Paris' most famous avenue, but not at the Gap. You can browse for CDs at Virgin Megastore, but forget luggage at Louis Vuitton. French businesses and unions have battled for years over whether Sundays should remain a day of rest, worship, and leisurely family lunches, and the tug-of-war has left behind a patchwork of baffling regulations on who can sell what and where. Now, two high-profile legal battles have raised the question again. Supporters say Sunday shopping would help cut the 9.3% unemployment rate, and point to a poll suggesting 3/4 of Parisians like the idea. But the courts have ruled, and the answer is no. The debate resurfaced after Louis Vuitton opened a new store last fall in the Champs-Élysées, an airy 21,500 square foot temple to handbags and high fashion, with the intention of opening Sundays. Vuitton says 70 of its 300 employees were hired for that purpose and were willing to work, and the shop had permission from the top local official. But two groups filed a lawsuit, the National Clothing Federation and the French Christian Labor Union.